William Morrow and HarperAudio present The Fiancee Farce, a novel by Alexandria Bellefleur, performed by Lauren Sweet. To anyone who has ever felt like a black sheep, this one's for you. Chapter 1. A few stray petals fluttered to the floor as Madison Van Dalen, nay, James's bouquet soared through the air. The confection of sherbet-colored orchids and draping Dutch roses tumbled flowers over stems, missing the grabbiest hands, hurtling instead toward the deserted end of the dance floor. Deserted, save for Tansy. The wainscoting bit into the small of her back as she hugged the wall, her accelerating pulse pounding out a rhythm of no, no, please, no, not her, as the bouquet's distance dwindled, disappeared. Tansy flinched, eyes shutting and arms rising reflexively, cushioning the flower's fall. Damn it. A gasp rose from the crowd. Heat crept up the front of Tansy's throat, her underarms and the creases of her inner elbows damp with flop sweat. Everyone, all 300 of Tucker and Madison's closest friends and family, was going to be staring, looking at her. What a nightmare. Tansy cringed and braced herself for the stares, the inevitable glares from those who thought catching a falling floral arrangement meant something. She cracked one eye open and... Okay. Odd. No one was glancing in her direction. Not even her stepmother, Catherine, the one responsible for dragging Tansy out onto the dance floor despite her many objections that she really didn't see the point, because what were the odds of her catching the bouquet anyway? Famous last words. It was like Tansy didn't exist, like she hadn't had the misfortune of catching the bouquet, as if the toss had never happened. At least 24 guests had gathered, gawking not at her, thank God, but instead at the center of the dance floor, where Ashley, Tansy's stepsister, clutched her face, eyes brimming with tears. She looked pissed, jaw set, one hand fisted at her side as if poised to exact retribution from the bridesmaid beside her, who was sheepishly massaging her elbow. "Ashley!" Catherine scuttled across the room and grabbed her daughter's face, tilting it toward the light with a grimace before whisking her off the dance floor. Catherine craned her head over her shoulder, frazzled eyes locking on Tansy. Her lips moved, mouthing what looked like the word ice, followed by a please and then a hurry that jolted Tansy into action. In the time it took for her to wind her way through the maze of tables, dodging pint-sized ring-bearers and drunk groomsmen, flag down a bartender, and retrace her steps all the way across the grand ballroom of the Seattle Yacht Club, a deep purple bruise had begun to bloom along the crest of Ashley's cheek. Tansy winced and held out a linen napkin full of ice cubes embossed with Tucker and Madison's initials. Fancy. Ashley snatched the cold compress, pressing it to the corner of her eye with a sharp hiss. Her one good eye narrowed, gaze dropping to the bouquet clasped lightly in Tansy's left hand, flowers trailing the floor. Ashley's lips thinned. "Thanks for the ice, Tansy. Not a problem, Ash. Happy to help." Tansy sighed. In an alternate universe, maybe. In this one, she wouldn't hold her breath. Across the table, Madison's younger sister, Jackie, smiled sweetly and pointed at the flowers. "Look at that! Congrats, Tansy!" "It was nothing." Tansy tucked the bouquet beneath her chair, out of sight, out of mind. "I didn't even mean to catch it." Jackie's smile went sly. "Who knows? Maybe you'll be next." "To what?" Ashley asked, lowering the compress. Jackie nodded to the front of the room, where Tucker held up a butter knife, studying his reflection, and Madison sipped surreptitiously from a flask before
Sample complete. Ready to continue?